Hey y'all, I'm Tammy, and the cameraman is Chris, my husband, and this is Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. Today we're cooking out of our second cookbook, Peanut Butter Buckeyes. Simple to make and fun to eat. We're going to get started. All right, what we're going to do, it's super simple, is use a stick of butter, which is a half cup, some vanilla, 2 cups of powdered sugar, and a half cup of creamy peanut butter, and that is all there is to it. So we're going to start with the butter and the peanut butter. We're going to get those creamy together. Then we'll add our vanilla and powdered sugar, mix it, and then we just roll it into balls. It's super simple. Then you're going to freeze them so that when you dip them into the chocolate, they do really well. And so let's get our peanut butter in here. So you need about a half cup of peanut butter. And I like to use Jif because to me it tastes good. And you can always use the crunchy peanut butter if you want to, but I think the recipe calls for creamy. This recipe is in our Volume 2 cookbook, and it's on page 84. All right, so we're going to mix up this. Let's go ahead and throw the vanilla in here too. Give it a good splash. And we're going to mix it until it's creamy. I'm going to scrape the sides of the bowl a little bit to make sure that I get it all mixed in there good. I'm going to use this same spatula. Now we're going to add our powdered sugar. You're going to put in 2 cups of powdered sugar. There's 1. And I do like this little hand mixer because it does have a really good low setting and doesn't throw everything everywhere. So we're going to put it on low. All right, there you have it. That's how it should look. And now we're just going to roll it up into balls. So I'm going to use a little cookie scoop so that I make the balls exactly the same size. And I'm actually wanting to make mine a little bit smaller than most people do because I like them a little smaller because then you get more chocolate with the peanut butter. So I've got a little cookie scoop right here, and I've got a bowl right here, and we're just going to start scooping and rolling. And that way I get them all the same size. And this takes time, okay? Now, if you want to make a larger Buckeye, use a bigger cookie scoop, but you can see how big I'm going to make mine. Those actually look bigger closer to the camera than they really are. I think this is about 1.5 teaspoons. So you roll them out, and then you take a toothpick, and you stick in each one of them, and you freeze them. Then you can use that toothpick to dip them in your chocolate. So I will see you in a few minutes after I get all these rolled out. All right, and then we'll put some toothpicks in them and get them in the freezer. You guys tell me. I know a lot of y'all make these every single year. They're fun to make. They're easy. They only take a few minutes. And boy, does everybody love a good old Buckeye. Peanut butter Buckeyes. They're delicious. Okay, now all you're going to do is put a toothpick And each one, if you don't put the toothpicks in them before you freeze them, you will not be able to get them in there. So you got to put them in there before they're frozen. And then you put them in the freezer and you let them freeze for about an hour or so. All right, there's 33 and 34. It made 34. It made 34 1-inch Buckeyes. So we're going to get them in the freezer. We're going to get them in the freezer, and then we'll be back in about an hour to dunk them in some good old chocolate. All righty, we've got these out of the freezer, and I've already dipped a few. Once they start getting soft, they want to fall. The toothpick wants to come out when you get it in the chocolate. So you may have to refreeze them for a few minutes in the middle, but if you'll take your chocolate and put it in, I got this in the largest Pyrex bowl that goes with the 3-piece Pyrex bowl set. It sits right down in my green bean pot, and you can put water in the bottom. And the great thing about doing your chocolate on the stove like this is that it stays hot, and you don't have to keep reheating it in the microwave, okay? So it's just super simple to use it like this. You can see down in there that the water's boiling. Can they see it? See the water's boiling down in there? And I got it on simmer. So it keeps it perfect. It's easy. So I'm just going to scrape it so that there's a bunch in the middle. And let me show you how you're going to dip these. You're just going to take each Buckeye, put them down in there, go back and forth like that, pick it up, twirl it around to get the excess off, and that's all there is to it. And put it out on a parchment. And the reason you go sideways like that, back and forth, is it's supposed to be in the shape of an eyeball. Well, not an eyeball, but an eye. I didn't know that, and I thought they were, but when I made these, after the first time I made them, everybody was like, you're supposed to shape it like that, and I had no idea. So that's the way you do it, and then we get rid of the hole after we dip them, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. We just got a few of these to dip. If you make peanut butter Buckeyes every year, you know how good they are. And I don't know if this is the same recipe you use, but you can't go wrong with peanut butter and chocolate. And that's pretty much what it is, with a little bit of vanilla. Delicious. Now, I used semi-sweet chocolate mixed with milk chocolate. More milk chocolate than semi-sweet, okay? Because I like milk chocolate. When I eat a Reese's cup, I like the milk chocolate. And so when I make a Buckeye, that's the way I like for it to taste. And the great thing about these is they're fresh and delish. That toothpick's way down in there. I can pull it out some. It'll probably want to fall off. I'm not going to shake it because it'll probably want to fall. And it's because I shake it, but I don't like for them to have a bunch of chocolate on the bottom. And if you don't shake it, they do. But most people don't complain about the extra chocolate. Just me. This is super simple. You ought to have peanut butter, powdered sugar, butter, vanilla at home. And if you do, then this is a simple recipe that everybody's going to absolutely just love. And it doesn't take long to make them. You don't have to bake anything. And what you'll do, well, you really need to wait till they're set up. And then once they're set up, you're going to pull the toothpick out. And then you're just going to take your thumb or finger and just flatten the top to get rid of the hole, just like you see these. And let me show you how creamy they are. Oh, they're so good. So let's pick one up that I dipped before y'all came on. I'm just going to squeeze it and show you how creamy. and delicious. It is so very good. Delicious. All right. I've got to be careful. I'm going to want to be eating these. And I've already gained 3 pounds eating toffee, so it's going to be hard to stay out of this peanut butter and chocolate too. Y'all have a wonderful day. And we thank you for watching Colored Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did. Y'all come back and see us. Love ya.